everyone. Today I thought I would do my final seed haul for a while. I do have a couple more seeds coming in, but it's from the same company. Um, and I have plenty of seeds. I need to grow the seeds. I'm not going to be able to grow everything that I've gotten this year and last year, but I have a good variety to where I'll be able to get an idea of, what would be better off doing next year and see if I can sneak anything in for this year. But for today's haul, I got seeds from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, which have a lot of really interesting heirlooms and old seeds that they've saved over the years. So I thought it was a good company to try. Um, what's cool is they have these seeds from this breeder called Dr. Manon Gallegly. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's Gallegly. And he has grown these West Virginia tomatoes. He's done four, and they're all off. They're all from this one tomato that he created. And he has, fixed them, over the years. He's had new varieties of the same tomato, and I thought that would be cool to have because it's just four tomatoes, and I would have a complete collection of one of the growers because some growers grow so many tomatoes. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get full collections from them for all their tomatoes, but this is cool. He's retired now, but he grew these at the University of West Virginia. So these are good for the climates of West Virginia. They're resistant against different diseases, which are, good for high humidity and heat during the summer, which could work in my area. My area might have a little more, so we'd see how they hold up. But I thought that would be very cool to try. And I mentioned that first because that's one reason why I ordered more seeds from this company. Is the newest one, which is Manion's Majesty, wasn't in stock when I first ordered, but then it became available. So I ordered that and a couple of flowers, and I ordered some seed sweet potatoes. I normally get sweet potatoes from my mom's boss. He always has a surplus every year, and he gives a ton to my mom, and she in turn gives them to me. So I'm always good on regular orange sweet potatoes. But this year I thought it'd be fun to try and grow some purple ones because I never see them in stores around here. Um, and I would like to give it a go. Um, I haven't really tried different variations except for an ubi, which I think is completely different than most of the purple sweet potatoes we get around here. But the one that I got is Purple Majesty, and that should be coming late spring in the mail from them. So that would be cool to try. And I also got some garden huckleberry, which grow like ground cherries similarly, um, compact. They do green berries that go black. I see them in a lot of recipes for pies and stuff. They're not very sweet. They're good for baking though. And you are not supposed to eat them until they go completely dull black. The green ones does have some toxicity to them. So that's something to be careful of when you order berries like that. And I also ordered some more flowers because I have a couple that I wanted to grow. I want to do better with my pollination this year. I did start a native garden in the very back of my tree line, which I will add more to. And those are just from starts from a nearby nursery. So I will continue to add more to that. And I figured around my plants, I can do some that aren't native, but I'm keeping them in containers, which is what I prefer. I don't want to plant anything in my ground flower wise that's not native to my area. But that's okay because I do container gardening. So I do have that option with trying different flowers that also attract pollinators or attract plants that would help get certain plants here. But honestly, a lot of them turn out to be native. But there's a couple like you grow for like prettiness or different stuff that's really, it's okay to grow, but you just don't want to really introduce them to the environment if they're not native. I mean, if you can help it, you know what I mean? There's still a chance seeds might go off, but I do still keep a lawn. So a lot of times, most stuff gets taken over by that grass. It's not, I don't add seeds to my lawn. It's whatever grass is going to grow here. It's not the best, but I'd rather have that, and then eventually I'm going to add ground covers that are native. Um, because I'm not a big fan of lawns. They're you have to keep getting seeds to get a pretty lush looking green that looks almost fake. Honestly, comparatively to like if you look at native stuff in my area, it just doesn't seem legit, I guess. And I guess that's true. So I'm not a big fan of it. So, but I do like certain stuff, like a lot of herb vegetables and stuff that are not native, and flowers and stuff that are edible. So they'll be in my containers. Um, I will be getting poppy bread seed, Charlottesville. Those are ones that you can get seeds from. Um, and I'll also be getting Dara, which I don't know if it's necessarily native, but it does seem to attract tackweed flies, which are in my area. They also happen in Virginia too. I'm in zone 8B in North Carolina. I mean 8A in North Carolina. And those will help. Dara's will help with squash bugs. They'll help deter squash bugs by bringing them in, which is what I need. Um, I think I got one squash plant that is resistant to squash vine borers. But a lot of my plants is pretty much going to be like I'm going to plant them as soon as I can, and they'll last however long until the bugs get them because they just the squash vine borers are hard to get rid of, and I don't like to spray for pests. I'm one of those people who prefer like to just let nature take its course. I'll provide stuff that should help it, like different plants and stuff. But I don't want to spray, especially since I'm also doing like native garden and stuff. I want plants out back that are going to thrive in my environment. And so when it comes to my vegetable garden, you either live or you don't. And if bugs like it, then oh well, I'll get what I can off of it. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to have to try something else or just keep it for those plants so I can have vegetables off other plants more. You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes in the garden, you'll have certain types of, if I'm making any sense, I feel like I'm just saying words. But sometimes in the garden, you'll have certain plants that you plant that just attract all the bugs. And but they make it to where they don't go on other plants. So you almost want to keep those. So even though you don't get any fruits off of them, you're like, well, it's worth it because I'm not going to have those plants anymore. So we'll see. but but yeah, so I got Dara for that, and then I got a Sculpit where they're almost like a bell to it, and the white flowers are underneath it, and they have edible young leaves. And I also got Melampodium. I don't know if I'm saying these right. It's like a mound shaped yellow flowers that I thought would be really pretty. So those are seeds that are coming in, also from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, because those are picked up because I was like, flowers, a couple more flowers would be good, and then the Maiden's Majesty. I wanted to get it. I wanted to have a full collection of tomatoes. Speaking of Maiden's Majesty, let's start off with the tomato that started it all, which is West Virginia 63. It is a 70-day variety. So pretty good, I guess, like intermediate growing. Not early, yeah, mid, probably like mid season. Um, Pretty good. Mild sweet flavor. It's supposed to be resistant to blight, and it has a meaty flesh. So this is the original one. Okay, and the next one that came was Mountaineer Pride, which is West Virginia 17A. It went to an 80-day variety. It also has medium red slicers. They have the similar great flavor, but the skins are firmer, and they're also still resistant to different blights and different diseases as well. And then the next one is Mountaineer Delight, West Virginia 17B. And that one is actually a larger beefsteak. So this is one of the larger ones in this collection. It comes 77 days, so a little sooner than Mountaineer Pride. And it's a sweeter flavor too. So that's great. And then is Mannion's Majesty. It was his final one that's coming in. It's 80 days, but it has more vigor. And it has the same flavor as West Virginia 63. And it's more resistant to Sephora leaf spots. And it's also a medium fruit vegetable. So, medium fruit sized tomatoes. But I'm very excited to have those. I'm considering if I want to grow all 4 this year and just have those be most of my reds. We'll see. But the one that I definitely have to grow this year because I accidentally ordered 2 packets is the German red strawberry. It's shaped like a strawberry in color and shape. It's big, it's meaty. I guess it's similar to a heart tomato. Honestly, that's what it sounds like to me. It's supposed to be like a complex flavor, like very broad and deep. And it takes 80 days. And I'll definitely be growing this year because I ordered too many seeds and I probably should offer them up to somebody as well to have. And I also got, for tomatoes, the Japanese black trifle. It is 75 days to grow, and it is a pear-shaped. So if you're thinking of like a wine jug tomato, or I think I've mentioned Queen Alapica before. That's also a pear-shaped tomato. And this one has dark color, so it's a really dark red, purplish with green shoulders. And this is supposed to be a rich, complex flavor. This is very exciting to have. And my last tomatoes that I ordered was Reverend Morrow's Longkeeper. I grew the Burpees Longkeeper this year. At least what I think was Burpees Longkeeper. I ordered from Burpees, but it did not have this. It was smaller in size, and it had a point than what I was expecting from the description. I don't know if it's just because I do grow in containers, so sometimes you do get smaller stuff, but it just normally at least get bigger sizes from a lot of other tomatoes to where I can at least know I can get bigger from it. And it had firmer skin, which was nice, and it did last. Like I just finally had my last one, so it still kept like a long keeper. So I don't know if it just didn't go with the description, but it's still a long keeper, or if maybe it cross-pollinated, but it still kept. So I don't know if this year, if I should get the seeds I saved from this past year and grow them and see what comes, and then the ones from the seed packet again and see if I'm still getting the same tomato. Because I guess I could have mislabeled it, but all my other tomatoes were right. So it's hard for me to imagine that I mixed it up with anything else because I had a pretty good record. I didn't grow a ton of tomatoes this year. So we'll see. But because of that, I wanted some more long keepers because that lasted till this past week. So I have like 1 or 2 tomatoes left for some that came in very late. But I ate it all. It could still probably would have lasted a little longer, but I ate them all. So it was good. I thought it'd be fun to have another long keeper. And this one takes 85 days. It's 6 to 10 ounces. It has a reddish orange coloring to it with pink flesh. And I thought this would be a fun one to add to my collection. So that's it for the tomatoes. I have a crap ton of tomatoes. I have like 100, and I cannot grow 100 tomatoes. So I will have to be going over my tomatoes in the coming week to figure out which ones I want. I think I'll probably do some videos on it and ask you guys what you think. And also, if you have more that I should try, which I mean, because there's millions of tomatoes, ones that are your absolute favorite, in the future when I go over them, maybe, you can have some that you can add, that I can add for further in the future gardens. Because for this year, I have to stop buying seeds. I'm done. Even though I see a lot on sale and stuff, I have so many seeds. I need to go through and see if I like or dislike them. So, but the next thing we'll do with our lettuce greens and different, in the green family. And this one, I have one lettuce, and that is the Yugoslavian red butterhead lettuce. It's a lighter green lettuce leaves with red tinge on it, and it's supposed to have a buttery flavor. And they looked very pretty. And I am starting to love lettuce. This year I have, right now, still in the garden, I have growing. I have American spinach, which I guess doesn't count. I put it with my lettuce greens because it's a green. I put it with my lettuces. Musclin mix, Paris Island romaine, and Tom Thumb butterhead. And I've just been adding it as much as I can to my salads, and it's just been terrific. And they keep growing, even though it's finally been cold. They've kind of slowed a little bit, but they're still doing very well. I've enjoyed having a fall winter garden, and I'm about to do a video because I've picked out my early spring garden. So I'm gonna do a video on that with the vegetables and fruits I'm gonna do for that, and a ton of lettuce varieties I'm going to grow up because lettuce can be so pretty, so many different colors. It's very exciting. I can't wait to see all the different variations because I just like the different textures in my salad from the different greens. So I want to have a bunch. And still kind of in the green vein is collards. I got variegated collards, which I will not grow for the spring garden. I will wait till the fall garden because this one grows, the colder it gets, the whiter the leaves get, and the flavor gets better. And because of where I live, it doesn't get too many days below 20. There's, some years it's colder than others, so it might not last, but in some places it can last like 5 years in the South. So I thought that's very cool to have edible collard greens, to have that beautiful variegation to it. So that'll be fun, the green and the white. And the next will be my squashes. And honestly, I love summer squash. But as you can see with wanting to get Dara, and I think I have a Trumbacina squash that is supposed to be more vine resistant. I mean, resistant to squash vine borers. Most of the time, squashes just do not last long. So I did mess up getting the golden bush scallop because I just wanted a variation of scallops. I also have a greenish one that I'll have. This does take longer though, so we'll see if I get anything off of it. It might be where I just have to give someone some seeds if they want to try it out in different places. Because for trading, because I am in a couple groups for trading. I don't know if you've seen Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head's YouTube channel or Jen Joy's YouTube channel, but they started a tomato garden group, and they also have a pepper group and a regular garden group with flowers now. And so you can do different trades with people there. I've actually gotten a lot of tomato trades because of it. And so there's always a chance I'll be like, hey, do you want any in that group? If they do not last for me this year, because this one takes 68 days. But with some of the stuff I'm trying, I'm hoping I can at least get one off of it because I love summer squash more than I do winter squash. And but last year I think I got weeks worth and then they were done. So we'll see. But these have like they're golden yellow patties. They have a little bit of white to them, And you harvest them at 4 to 5 inches. They're productive, and they're supposed to have really good flavor. So we'll see. But this one was smart of me to get, I'll tell you. It's the Zappella del Tronco. Now this could be a winter squash if you had the space and the time to grow it and didn't have to deal with bugs. But for down south, this one's great because they're compact bush plants, and it's like, I can't talk. They only get like 2 to 4 inches. Well, that's when you need to harvest them. It's 2 to 4 inches. They're a light green, and they're round summer squashes, and they grow very fast. So these are 48 days. So I'm excited about these. I think I'll be able to get a couple harvested of these before it goes bad. So I'm very excited to try those. I've never had a rounded squash like that. That's like for summertime. I know it can get a lot bigger for winter, but it'll be cool to try. And then first couple root vegetables. I did get a radish. I like radishes. I like roasted radishes. Definitely do it. If you haven't tried to roast radishes, you should roast some radishes. Their flavor is just so good roasted. Like a spice to it. Not like spicy, but like herby spicy. Just great. I love radishes. And this is a Masada. This is a Masada rose. This will be for my fall winter garden. And it's very similar to like a watermelon one. It has green and white skin and rose and white flesh. And these are supposed to bulb a lot easier than other radishes. Even if they're crowded, they're supposed to still be able to form bulbs, which sounds really cool. So I'm very excited about that one. And my last root vegetable is the purple dragon carrot. I do have carrots growing now. I have one purple growing. But I think I'll add this to my spring garden because I just have some oranges picked out, I think. I'll have to double check. But this one it's like a reddish purple skin, and it can be like a yellowish tint or orange inside. And it has a sweet flavor, but also has an earthy spice, which I like. It's supposed to be very good purple, because some purples, honestly, from what I've read and see, most of the time, the orange carrots are the best carrots. My son, though, had some Uzbeka gold carrots this year from, what do you call it? It's that company, Baker Creek. I got seeds from them. I've been growing it in the garden. He loves those. So you can get some good stuff, but I guess when it gets darker, you don't necessarily get as sweet. And they're not very flavorful, but compared to the orange ones. But this one sounds like it will be. So I'm very excited about that. And then going to eggplant, going to the summer garden. These are light green banana-shaped fruits that are supposed to be really good fried and braised, and they're supposed to be disease resistant, and they're very mild and sweet, which I like. I've really enjoyed the small eggplants. I'm gonna have to venture to the bigger ones eventually, because the ones in the stores to me just do not taste good. And I found out this past year that eggplants from the garden taste so much better. I don't know if it's just because they don't sit as long. You know what I mean? They're not traveling, which, some are just picked for that in the grocery store. So it's not necessarily based on taste. So eventually I might go to the bigger ones. But right now, these are the types that I've been looking for and enjoying. And then the next thing, I have two left, is a bush bean. It's Tanya's Pink Pod Romano Snap Beans. They're very flat pods, and they are green and pink. And the pink will fade when it's cooked. A lot of vegetables do that. And this is supposed to be really good for freezing. And they're supposed to have heavy harvest. We'll see, because I found it really depends on the bush variety. I had some bush lake beans, and I feel like I'm going to have to grow a ton of those to get any production off of it. But then I grew some yellow, these are hybrids now, mellow yellow green beans that tasted very good. And I could do just 2 or 3 plants of those and I would have plenty, like for when I do pick it for dinner that night. So it just really depends on what you need. A lot of people prefer pole beans for productivity, but because I container garden for for my vegetable garden, I need to do bush. It's just easier and better for me, and so I'm figuring out which is more productive and how many I need to get. Maybe I like a flavor of something, but how many plants do I need to grow for that? So that's cool to have. And my last thing is a pepper, and it's a seasoning pepper, which is very cool. It's a pimento arrugado. So this would be cool to have for like drying and crushing up for seasoning, making like powdered form. They have very low heat. It's barely detectable, but it's good to have for when you're seasoning stuff. And it goes from pale green to orange to red, and it can sometimes have purple blushing on top. So this is very cool. And also this is a Ecuador variety, and when you purchase this from them, it goes towards the Ecuador's Red de Guardians de Somales. Probably not saying that right, but it's like a group that supports connecting seed savers in Ecuador, which I thought was very cool. I didn't realize that when I bought it, but that is cool that they do that. And I can't wait to try this. I think this will be fun because I wanted some pimento spicing peppers to have for to save for seasonings and stuff, because I've really been enjoying doing that with all my herbs and stuff. So I really want to start to do that with like onions and like peppers and stuff from the garden too, to really up my herbs and spices game. But that's it from the Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. They have a lot more really cool vegetables on there that I haven't really seen many other places. So it seems to have a lot of good heirlooms and older varieties that may not be as popular, but they're saving them for people to try. So I found that very cool. And thank you guys so much for watching. But yeah, this will be my last seed haul for hopefully a while. Maybe till next year, end of this year at the earliest. And I am starting to plan my garden. So next time we chat, it'll be over the early spring garden and the plants that I've picked. And then after that, I need to start deciding on my vegetables for the summer. I need to figure out what tomatoes I want and peppers and stuff. Definitely tomatoes. I have too many tomatoes. As you can see, I've already added, 7 more today to it. So we'll see. But thank you guys for watching. Bye.